Yo, what's up guys? It's ImortalSpikes here, and today we're gonna run the new weekly Archon hunt. And I'm gonna show you guys my build for Octavia and my personal favorite, the Nataruk bow. It is insane. And keep in mind, this is essentially the friendly build. Like, you can be pretty much early game to use this build for Octavia and the Nataruk. The only thing you'll really need is the bow itself, which is locked behind the story. So if you do not have the story, please guys, do the story. This bow is insane. Not only does it have infinite ammo, it also just shreds through high level enemies. You can run this into Steel Path and it will still dominate. So guys, this is my Octavia Prime build. Keep in mind you can use this build for normal Octavia. The only real difference is the Prime has a little bit more armor, health and shield, and maybe even some energy. I'm not completely sure. But this entire build is essentially new game friendly, except for the Prime continuity and the power drift. The power drift, I'm not sure. I think you run the Deimos vaults and open it's not isolation vaults. I can't come up with the name now of the vaults. I think it's Oricon vaults. So you open Oricon vaults and then you get these mods. You have a chance of getting the mods. Or it might also be nightmare missions. I might be wrong. If not, just look it up. You will find it. This Umbral Intensify, Umbral Vitality, and Umbral Fiber you usually get with the story that involves Excalibur Umbra. And if you have primed flow, use it, but in my case I just use normal flow. Streamline for basic efficiency, which reduces the amount of energy cost per ability, and then just redirection for just a little bit more shield and also survivability. Now, moving on to my Nataruk build. As you can see, I have not even spent any Forma on this weapon, so this is pure just level 30 Nataruk bow. Pure build, you guys can use this. I would say the only hard mods to get is usually the galvanized chamber, because it takes a lot of Vitus Essence or Vital Essence, I'm not sure on the pronunciation. I never can remember that name, but anyways, so that might be the only mod that would be a bit hard to acquire, especially if you're new game. But if you don't have the galvanized chamber, you can essentially just slap on any multi-shot mod and you guys would be fine. And then you guys can also use normal shred. I just have prime shred because I've been playing this game for at least 3 years now. Then you want electrify, or the electricity damage for that extra, and also the toxin damage for that corrosive status effect, which will be the best for stripping armor and essentially basically one-shotting the enemies. If you have this arcane primary merciless, this thing will boost your damage by so much you wouldn't even know what to do. You wouldn't even want to use another weapon. That's how good this arcane is. So guys, if you are running Octavia like I am, you would want to have at least some squad energy restore, especially the large, because if let's say you go into the high level missions and you just want to stay invisible and let your drone do all the work, you would need this. If you don't have Arcane Energize, which is also pretty hard to get, but I would recommend, instead of farming for Arcane Energize, just go to your clan's dojo, get the blueprint, and just craft a bunch of these stuff. It's pretty cheap. With, if you have the materials, you would basically just spend 30,000 nanospores and I can't remember the other one. I think it's polymer bundle or something like that. I think it's 5,000. So if you have all the materials, you can craft yourself 100. I would say, depending on the mission, and how long you want to stay, the most you are gonna need is at least 20. At least. Okay, I'm just showing you guys my mana core build. You guys can use this exactly as I am, but you can always turn down the music if it is starting to get annoying. Essentially what this build does, it allows you to spam your crouch and would be fine to stay invisible, and also the top row is the one that allures the enemies or attracts the enemy's attention. So you basically want all of them selected so that it's constantly attracting the enemies to attack the drone, and if it attacks the drone it sucks up the damage and deals the damage back out. The resonator, I'm not pretty sure, I never read what this does, so yeah, but you guys can essentially just copy my entire build. It is pretty good. I've used this at least level 150 to 200 enemies, so, and I still survived. I basically never died. So yeah. Now guys, onto the Archon hunt. The first mission is a rescue mission on Jupiter, level 132, 135, as you guys can see, which Octavia is perfect for. She can just pop her third ability and go invisible the entire mission and not trigger any alarms, unless you're like me that has major skill issue. Then yeah, you would pretty much flawless each rescue mission no matter what. Then the second mission is defense, also on Jupiter, 135 to level 140, which Octavia is also perfect for. You just pop your 1, 2 and 3 ability and go invisible. Your drone does basically all the work for you. If there is enemies at like odd spots that your drone can't reach, you can use the bow to just one-shot them, or maybe even 2-3 shot them, depending on how tanky the enemy is. And then the final mission is the Archon hunt itself, the showdown, level 145 to 150. This is usually the most quote-unquote difficult fight, but if you have Octavia and you go invisible and your drone basically does all the work, and also with the squad energy refill, you would be able to take down this boss easily. Just note, sometimes the damage might not be as good as you would think it would be, but if you have enough energy restore, you will be able to finish this fight without dying. You can also use a Nutrook bow, shooting at it. I would not recommend doing it as much. It would help defeating the Archon, but with this build, because it's a more friendly build, you guys aren't gonna do as much damage. Okay guys, so I'm not gonna show you the entire mission because I don't want this video to be a million years long, so I'll just essentially cut to the part before the rescue, and then I'll just show you the rescue quickly with Octavia, and yeah, then I hope you guys enjoy.
The hostage is almost out of time. Hurry. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. The bypass is done. Go.
Okay guys, so now I'm just quickly opening this hack. It's not as complicated as it looks, pretty easy. So yeah, I just have not done this in a while. As you guys can see, just go invisible as soon as... Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, so as you guys can see, here's the hostage, and you just essentially hack it, open up and extract. As easy as that. And as you guys can see, I just spam crouch and I will stay invisible.
I need a weapon.
So I'll see you guys in extraction. And as easy as that. Stealth mission, Octavia makes it not a problem. Okay guys, so on to the next Archon hunt, which is the defense. Same as the previous mission. I'm not going to show the entire run, I'll just show like clips and that stuff to show you guys what is Octavia's potential. And then it's up to you guys to essentially just have fun with Octavia. Okay guys, so now I'm in the defense mission. The first thing you want to do is just pop your first squad energy restore and then just wait until your energy is full. And when your energy is full, you can just go to the defense mission and have fun.
Reinforcements are inbound. Hold the line.
Okay, so as you guys can see, here is the defense target. I can just give him my secondary weapon, and all I do now is essentially just pop my first, second and third ability and just spam crouch and go invisible. And then the drone will do everything, essentially. And as you guys can see, all the enemies, they just die. That's just how good Octavia is. And then people say Wukong is the AFK frame. But Octavia is the true AFK frame. And as you guys can see, with the multi-shot, you will do a lot of damage. It will just melt through the enemy's health. That's if your drone does not health or like eat through the enemy's health. Occasionally the enemy or the guy will die because unfortunately he does not have the brain capacity to go invisible. So yeah. The unfortunate truth about this defense mission. If it was for like the normal defense mission, this would not be an issue, but because it is a moving target, the drone cannot defend it at all times. And also the drone's AI is not as consistent as I would like it to be. Guys, so that you know, the only real issue that you guys have to be careful for is the sentience. They do chew through your health, and they might even one-shot you. And if there's just enemies on the defense target, you can just shoot at him, and the nut-root bow will just shoot right through him and delete any enemy. Sometimes enemy doesn't even need to be in line of sight. You can just shoot them through the wall. That's how good this weapon is. Oh, and guys, also with the mobile defense target, it's usually better to lure them into like a small room where they just don't really take any damage, and just send your drone out once in a while and it will do all the damage. Just make sure you guys stay invisible and you won't die. Okay guys, I know I said I'm gonna do this part solo, with this entire Archon hunt solo, but I noticed it's taking forever to clear one wave. Because of the enemy's spawn rate, they just spawn way too far apart from each other. But I will leave the clips in the video for you guys to watch. But I am gonna complete this a second mission and third mission on public, so I might have some teammates. If I do, it just makes it go a bit faster because there's more people to take care of the enemies instead of just me and my drone. It does take forever. Okay guys, so I admit I basically got carried through this mission, but even though I got carried, Octavia is still one of the best frames. I did not die once this entire mission or get down. Due to the invisibility, the people just could not lock onto me, and I can just shoot my bow the entire time while the enemies spawn and essentially just kill everything. Okay guys, so depending on how long this fight takes, as you guys can see, the fight is already halfway done because I joined the ongoing team. But that's not to worry about, because even though it's halfway through, it's still a big fight. So I'll just show you guys clips and that parts while fighting the Archon, and depending on how long it takes, I might just show the entire fight and just speed everything up. Okay guys, so we're now going to the last part of this Archon hunt, and essentially just gonna fight the Archon, and
You dealt with Archon Naira expertly, Tenno. Her kind may expect no mercy, no protection.
okay guys, so that was the entire fight. It did not take as long as I thought. Unfortunately, I did not contribute as much to the fight as I would have liked. But yeah, essentially, if you have the weapons to take down the Archon faster than the Natruk, then use it. But if you don't, that's perfectly fine. Just use the Natruk and you guys should be fine. And yet another Oricon Catalyst blueprint, which you guys are definitely gonna need if you want to double your weapons mod capacity, which makes this pretty good. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and like and subscribe if you are not, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.